That's what I be doing. I be stroking. I stroke it to the east, and I stroke it to the west, and I stroke it to the woman that I love the best. I be stroking.
Remember this guy's name?
Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter.
His woman screms it out while he's stroking. He's also the backdoor Santa. Come Christmas time.
And I can always tell when she gets satisfied.
Yeah,
Because when she gets satisfied, she started calling my name. She said, Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter. Ooh, Clarence Carter.
He's stroking.
I was stroking my woman.
I had to dip into Target to get a couple of things this morning.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm in the condom aisle because
Fancy.
it's the same aisle. I don't need condoms, obviously. I got snipped.
You just like to go there for
I like to
old
for
time's
nostalgia.
sake,
Yeah, I'll stand there and go,
There's so much time in there. You're like, hey, remember me, guys?
how you boys doing? You got so many newfangled friends over here.
Holding up each brand like Trojan.
Yeah, I'm sniffing
So
the
reliable for so many years. Magnum, what could have been.
sniffing the box. Oh, I wouldn't even presume to grab a box of Magnum condoms. No, but they have gotten really, the generic retail sector has fully embraced jerk-off toys.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't realize this. You know,
Oh,
for
yeah.
a long time,
You can go to Target and you can get full on
you can.
pocket piece. Like-
Yes. So I'm standing there and I'm looking for it's in the same aisle as like these vitamins I'm looking for. So it's condoms on one side, vitamins on the other. And I stand there and I turn around and they're in like this very cute packaging and nondescript and, you know, it looks very innocent. Company called Hello Cake is what it's called. And, you know, you used to be able to go to Walgreens or CVS and they would have a little section there. It was like personal massagers, right? They would wink, wink. Right? You have a giant kickstand or whatever, and it was called a personal massager for the ladies. And then I don't know what precipitated this move, and I'm sure this is not a brand new thing. It's just me noticing it now, that they just full on are like, hey, because they're at Walmart, they're at Target. You can go now to CVS and Walgreens, and they will have a section for that stuff. Not just the lubes. They had a, what was it called? I had to Google it to remember what it was called. A vibrating stroker is what it's called. Clarence Carter would be proud.
Yeah.
A vibrating stroker for him. And then they have a double-sided toy for him.
Nice.
So they're not pretending that they're anything else. They're on the shelves at your Walmart, at your Target, double-sided stroker for men. Right there on the shelf. I'm like, good. That's a good thing. You can take that stuff out of the shadows. I'm just not sure what happened like, in the culture. Maybe it's just people are becoming less avoidant of those things. I don't know.
You got to do everything you can to stay survive in the brick and mortar shops. So if it means selling vibrators,
You think
you're
that's what
gonna
it
sell
is?
vibrators.
It's as simple as I mean,
I think
because they
the
could have
people-
sold these for a long time.
They could
so
have,
I'm-
but I think there's, people being more open about that kind of stuff, and then just convenience over everything. If somebody's like, I need one now, and I'm at Target and I see one, I'm going to grab one.
right. They're not hiding what they are at all, by the way. Like I said, they used to be personal massagers. Now,
Marital devices.
right, that's right. Marital aids. That's
yeah.
right.
And
Now,
then
if you get
AIDS came
marital
out,
aids,
they're like, ooh.
oh, we got to change that. Those people and the diet candy people.
Yeah.
They had to have a lot of meetings once AIDS came out. But yeah, they've got the vibrating stroker. They've got the spinning vibrating toy for men. They've got the oral stroker. Just if I can throw one aesthetic criticism at them, though. There's got to be a middle ground between marital aids and stroker. Maybe something else. I have no idea what that would be.
Slurper?
Stroker is a very...
That's a very powerful word.
It really jumps out at you. Yeah.
It's not subtle. It's not coy.
But they catch your eye with the color of the packaging too. That's what caught my eye. A big orange box or a yellow box but good for them. Right there on the shelves by the pharmacy at your Walmarts and your Targets, all of your erotic novelties right there packaged for you. And you can walk around with a little whatever you're there to get. You go, oh, I need a bagged salad. Oh, I need to pick up more dog food. Oh, I need to pick up more vitamin D. Oh, let me grab a stroker while I'm at it. Because they can't be cheap. I should have peeped the price, but I didn't. I just kind of chuckled to myself and went about my business. But I was like, wow, good for them.
Hey, remember what I announced earlier in the week?
What did you announce earlier in the week? Oh, Chris McQuanzica?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
Today is the pre-sale.
Oh, yeah.
The artist pre-sale is what they call it.
Now, what does that mean?
So it means if you use the code BUZZARD
Mm-hmm.
when you go to buy tickets at agoracleveland.com, you can buy them today. You don't have to wait till Friday like all the other suckers.
Wait, the suckers are the ones who wait till Friday?
If you ask me.
Unless
you're one of those people that waits till Friday, then you're great.
What about people who feel more comfortable being part of what they call the general public?
I mean, that's fine.
They're like, I don't want to make
If you want to feel fancy, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to feel like you got a little something going on, like you know something, you can use code word BUZZARD. You have to use a code word. That's always fun.
Some people don't want to be, some people don't want to make a big fuss.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to stand out from the crowd. They go, you know what? I'll wait until we can all buy tickets.
Right. Well, everyone has the opportunity to hear this and use code word BUZZARD and buy their tickets right now. And it's going to be a crazy lineup.
I really wish Mary was here today for one specific reason. You know, I'm in New Jersey tomorrow through Sunday, so we're off tomorrow and Friday. And Mary's out today because she's getting her ankle looked at. And a listener pointed this out, and it got me to thinking. You know how hilarious she finds videos of people slipping and falling?
Yes.
And she's also a believer in karma, which you and I do not believe in. But she's a big believer in karma, like a lot of other people.
The version of karma that has become popularized by TV shows like My Name is Earl, not the actual karmic effect that is believed in by Buddhists.
You theology students take umbrage with it, but
It's
karma,
the
as
pop
most people
culture version of
use
it.
it. You do good things, the good things happen to you.
Or bad things happen.
Or bad things happen. I would love to ask her about that. I don't know if she'd be receptive to that thought. She might have already thought it. Well, here's my karma for laughing at all those people slipping and falling. But see, when the video that she sent us and that she has since posted, I thought it was her running into the kitchen. I didn't realize it was her coming down the steps.
Yeah, she's coming down the steps, misses the last step, and takes a tumble.
You don't have steps in your apartment, do you?
No.
No.
There's steps in the building.
Yeah.
Obviously, the home of the famous stairwell fart was in a stairwell, so there are steps.
Well, I mean, you live in a high rise.
Within my actual.
You don't have a two-story condo, is what I'm saying.
Not yet.
Right.
One day.
You'll build onto the outside of it.
It's a dream. I would love to buy the unit above mine, and then have that be like an up-down situation.
Would you put in a circular staircase? Old school.
You have to.
Yeah, circular
It'd be
staircase.
So cool.
The house that we lived in Ohio City for many years had a circular staircase. And trying to get your dog to learn how to go up and down a circular staircase. I mean, we'd only had our dog for like maybe a year, so she was still pretty small. But boy, just a metal open circular staircase.
Yeah.
Good. We had to carry her up and down for months.
Yeah, Whoopsie would not be real happy about that.
You need to install a dumbwaiter just to get your dog from floor to floor.
You put a little slide for her to go down.
I have a lot of steps in my house. We have a split level, but we have a basement as well. So there's lots of steps in our house. And no matter how many times, if I'm walking through the house and there aren't many lights on, I know how many steps I have. But invariably, my brain will do that thing.
Where you feel around.
Yeah, I don't think there's another step, or I think there's one too many. So her coming down that stairwell into the kitchen there, and completely falling out, that sucks. Nevertheless.
Looks like she was really hustling.
She was tearing ass. Yeah. So we won't have Mayor's Science Fair. We were going to do that today before we left for the week. Unless later, listen, she might find out that she's fine.
In on a chandelier.
She might find out that everything's fine, and I was going to tell her, don't worry about the show, but she's a grown woman. She can figure it out. But she's having that looked at as we speak. I got $1,000
The one
here
thing I
for
know,
you.
though, is that she's on Chris McQuanzica, and it'd mean a lot to her and her ankle if everybody used the code word buzzard.
Oh, so
to
this
get
is for
tickets
Mary.
right now. Yeah. of
Oh,
course.
okay, yeah.
I'm very selfless.
Good for you. You know, look at you. Trying to help. $1,000 from the Buzzard Bookie. Your first keyword this afternoon. Listen closely. I hope you win.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Money, that's money. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
You know, on the subject of those sex toys or whatever, I was reading another one of these articles about how they had suspected this for a while, but they think that they've really kind of nailed it down, why throat cancer is becoming such an epidemic among younger people. And it's what we all suspected.
Cunnilingus?
It's oral sex.
Yeah.
Remember about a decade back, Michael Douglas, the actor, went public and said he had throat cancer. And he's like, it's so weird because I don't smoke, I don't really drink much. Why would I have throat cancer? And he said, I got it from HPV. And everybody was making their jokes, but then everybody had to take a step back and go, this guy is the GOAT.
Right.
He got throat cancer from too much oral sex with Catherine Zeta-Jones, his wife of many, many years. The throat goat. You know, HPV, as women know, is the main cause of cervical cancer. And now throat cancer has become more common than cervical cancer because of HPV. And you want a terrifying number. People with 6 or more lifetime oral sex partners are about 8 times more likely to develop throat cancer. Now, this terrifies me, all right? Not only do I love getting down there and setting up shop, but who is having sex with 6 people in their entire life? Just 6?
Just 6.
Are you kidding me? Just 6? So if you only had 5, you're fine? So
statistically, yes.
I guess so. Or those who do not, you're more likely to get it than people who have had fewer partners or those who do not practice oral sex. And there is probably a cause and effect relationship there. The reason you've had fewer than 5 partners is because you do not practice oral sex. But HPV is leading a lot of younger people to getting throat cancer. Now, they say overall it is still a small number, but that's terrifying because basically everybody's walking around with HPV now. So who knows if this is going to get you now? Who knows if it's going to get you later? Or if it's going to get you at all? But the big question is, are you going to take your chances? And I think most guys, the answer would be a resounding yes.
Yes.
Of course I'm going to take my chances. I will figure it out however it's got to get figured out.
And now when you get checked for prostate cancer, they're going to Eiffel Tower you and check for throat cancer too.
I mean, my livelihood is based from my throat. And I do radio. Hey-oh! Hey-oh! So, you know, if I can't talk, I can't work. And but Michael Douglas, listen, he came out of the throat cancer okay, but for a while, you know, people were joking about that, and they were initially saying that that's not what it was, but then he pretty much confirmed it. He was like, yeah, because that's better press for him. I mean, even if it wasn't the case, that's better press for him. It's not like he's married to some scrub. He's got Catherine Zeta-Jones and oral throat cancer. There's some evidence to suggest that boys are protected by herd immunity in some countries where a lot of the women are vaccinated. You know,
I thought it's because the women are so fat that no one's doing anything.
Not that kind of herd immunity. No, nothing like that. But, you know, this is a big bone of contention among a lot of parents is whether or not they get their daughters vaccinated for cervical cancer. And some people say, well, that just makes them blah, blah, blah. All the you know, people clutching their pearls over that, but it's just good common sense that you would want to get your daughter vaccinated against that. And kids are dealing with different kinds of cancers because the sales, they said, we were talking about how I don't see that many kids smoking anymore. You see them vaping, but I'm talking about cigarettes. And back in the day, they would always have to tell people, well, you think you look cool, but you don't. Of course you look cool. That was a terrible, terrible way to try to get kids to not smoke, is by lying to them and telling them that they didn't look cool. Of course you look cool. But kids are getting rid of cigarettes, and they're switching to the nicotine pouches. Kids are going for the Zyn.
Pouches are huge.
Yeah. So if you don't get the throat cancer, youngins, you're not getting away with anything with this. You might not get lung cancer, but you're going to get like little raisin tumors in your gums along the way. But they said that there's a huge uptick in middle school and high school kids doing a little pinch between the cheek and gums, the nicotine pouches. So fewer kids are smoking. You won't see them standing back there, and it makes perfect sense. If you're in class, you couldn't smoke a cigarette. But, back in my day, kids were dipping in class. You'd have we went to Catholic school. So you had the jackets. And the inner pocket of their jacket, they'd have the tiny little, like the little grapefruit juice cans, like you'd find behind the bar.
Yeah.
And they'd spit into that.
Those,
yeah, when the nun wasn't looking. But they were doing like full-on dip, which is disgusting too. But,
at least the Zyns, you don't got to.
You got to do what you got to do.
Zyns with the dip, you're spitting and it's real gross.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about these either, other than
I tried them.
It's just like nicotine powder, right? Yeah.
It's like in a little pouch, and so you just suck on the pouch for a while. You just put it,
What are you doing? I'm just sucking on my pouch.
Yeah. But not a fan.
Well, they
Gave me
probably
the hiccups when I tried it.
Hiccups? Why?
Because I was getting a big dose of nicotine, and my body is not used to nicotine, so it's like, what is this? And
I see.
Gave me a little bit of hiccups.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of people who say that, this is how they're going to sell it to dudes, is they're going to find some way to conflate using nicotine pouches with like getting
Boners?
a rod or you tie that into the boners, and you're going to say sales even go higher than that. But between the throat cancer and whatever else is going on, it's a brave new world out here. Is Bill worried about finger cancer? That's a good question. Do you ever worry about that?
Again, I mean, you got
gazebo cancer.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got
I worry about it, but it's love the game.
You got to live your life.
Yeah,
you got to do what you got to do.
I die doing what I love. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Alan, that Michael Douglas case scared me. I dated a girl who said she had HPV, and I was down there a lot. Well, yeah. I mean, pretty much everybody's walking around with it now. It's just if you're a guy, it won't murder you unless it's in your throat. Yeah. Alan, I feel bad for Mary. I messed up my ankle pretty good coming out of Bill's show last winter. Oof. I caught my heel on the heel of my boot on the top step at the Agora.
Ouch.
I am also 44 years old, and I've only had 6 partners in my life.
Hey, you made the minimum.
Good for you. Listen, it's I don't know what that number is supposed to be. We all know our own. I can't fathom single digits. But you're in a much better place with that, too. That means that maybe early on you found somebody that just knocked your lights out.
Those years of Skinny Bill, I put up quite the numbers.
Skinny Bill was doing pretty well.
Put up, like the majority of my numbers were in those 2 years of being pretty skinny.
Why did you send Skinny Bill away then?
Skinny Bill, maybe he'll make a comeback. maybe there's something cooking.
He wants to be back.
Yeah.
He wants to
he needs to be back.
Of course, you don't put up numbers though anymore either. You got
I got a girl, but it's still good. I won't get skinny just to have sex with girls.
Well,
I kind of want to be alive longer.
Well, so that too, but sure.
That's the main goal.
2 things can be true.
Yeah. I'm working on stuff.
Michael, hello.
Hey, Alan, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on?
Not much, man. You guys talking about Zyns, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the Zyns. Where I live, though, we call it nicotine. So nicotine.
See, Michael is this guy who calls and pretends that my screen always says New Jersey, right? So Michael calls and pretends that I don't know what he pretends to be, but I always end up dumping him because a couple of seconds into the call, he feels compelled to drop the N-word.
Yeah, he thinks it's super funny.
I guess he thinks it's hilarious. Yeah. And so, he'll start the call pretending to talk about what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. And I knew that was the guy because it says Michael from New Jersey. So he didn't even switch that up. But I wanted to see where he's going to go, and he went right where he did last time. So anyway, thank you, Michael. Nobody heard it because I dumped it, but I do appreciate the engagement. I got to take a break here. Hey, you want to go see Collective Soul? They are on their 30th anniversary tour, and that's going to get them to Northeast Ohio. Collective Soul is going to come through to play for you. Not that far off. November 17th. It's a Sunday night at MGM Northfield Park, so we'll hook you up with those coming back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.